Imagine this. It's late at night. You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, your mind running in circles over the same relentless question. What if they come back? But beneath that question, a more haunting thought lurks in the silence. What if they don't? And there you are, waiting, hoping, dreading. The silence feels heavy, almost deafening, doesn't it? This, right here. This is the hardest part. You're left with nothing but memories, and the unsettling feeling that the other person might not feel the same emptiness gnawing at them. It's like they took a piece of your soul and vanished, leaving you stranded in the silence. I know you feel stuck, torn between wanting to reach out, desperate for some relief from the unknown, and the other part of you that knows better, that knows reaching out is giving away your power. It's here, in this silence, that your true strength is born, not in the easy days, but in these hard, dark moments. In this silence, you have a choice. You can let the emptiness consume you, or you can use it to transform into someone stronger, someone more resilient. Let's dive deep into the art of no contact. Let's use this silence to reclaim your power, to become unshakable, and to build a version of you that's not just waiting to be loved, but is worthy of admiration. Because let's face it, that's what you deserve. Now, staying strong in no contact isn't just about resisting the urge to reach out. It's not a game of silence for silence's sake. It's a test, a grueling journey that requires mental resilience, patience, and, yes, a little bit of psychological edge. But most importantly, it's about building an armor for your soul, an armor that will protect you, not just now, but whenever life throws challenges like this at you again. To survive this test, you'll need to understand the power of silence, not just in how it affects them, but how it molds you. We're about to look at some powerful principles grounded in Stoicism and dark psychology that will help you through this. These aren't tricks to manipulate anyone. They're tools for mastering your own mind. So, let's dig in. Let's go beyond the surface-level advice, beyond the empty platitudes. Let's harness this quiet, painful solitude as a crucible for your transformation. Are you ready? Are you ready to discover a power within yourself that you may have forgotten existed? To wake up each morning, not with a sense of dread, but with a sense of purpose. Then listen closely, because what I'm about to share with you will give you the strength to withstand this silence, and not just survive it, but thrive because of it. Let's break down the psychology of this no-contact period. What's actually happening beneath the surface? Why is silence so powerful? And why does it feel so intense, so unbearable for both people involved? You see, when we cut contact, it creates a void, a blank space that the human mind is wired to fill. Our minds crave closure, answers, and certainty. And when we don't get it, we go searching for it in any way possible. This lack of contact becomes a psychological trap, a maze of what-ifs that both parties begin to wander through, often without even realizing it. Why didn't they reach out? Do they even care? These questions don't just visit you, they begin to haunt you. And here's the key. This sense of mystery is powerful. Silence holds a kind of psychological grip because it leaves so much to the imagination. Both you and the other person are left in a state of uncertainty, and uncertainty is, strangely enough, magnetic. It keeps people hooked. By staying silent, you're creating a powerful psychological phenomenon known as intermittent reinforcement. This is where the other person starts to think of you in fragmented, unpredictable moments. They don't have constant access to you anymore. They can't predict your actions, and in that unpredictability, your presence becomes, ironically, even stronger in their mind. But there's more. In psychology, there's a term called cognitive dissonance. When we want something but can't have it, our minds struggle to reconcile the difference between what we desire and what's actually happening. And in no contact, you create that dissonance. You're forcing them to question why they can't just reach out, or why you're not available anymore. It becomes a puzzle, a curiosity that grows and nags at them. Now, it's natural to wonder, if they miss me, why haven't they reached out? But consider this, a person might feel the effects of no contact, even without consciously realizing it. Their mind starts associating you with mystery, perhaps even longing, but that doesn't necessarily mean they'll act on it right away. The desire lingers in the background, subtle yet persistent. So here you are, in this silence, thinking it's only hurting you. But the truth? That silence has its claws in them too. And here's something crucial to understand. In this period, it's not just about what they feel, it's about what you're becoming. No contact is, in a way, a psychological cleanse. You're stepping out of an emotional dependency and entering a phase of emotional independence. It's like stripping yourself of an addiction, no longer feeding on constant validation or attention. Yes, it's painful. It's supposed to be. But pain is a powerful teacher, and in the silence, you're learning more about yourself than you could in any conversation. This space of quiet is where true self-discovery happens, because it's only when the noise fades, when the conversations, the texts, the back and forth all disappear, that you're left alone with your own thoughts. And at first, that might feel unbearable. But over time, you'll come to see it differently. This solitude will become your training ground. It will reveal your fears, your insecurities, but also your strengths, your courage, and your untapped resilience. Now, let's think about the other person's experience for a moment. You've gone silent. They don't know where you are emotionally, and they're left to wonder. Humans have an uncanny ability to become fixated on things they don't understand. And by staying quiet, by not giving them answers, you're actually placing yourself in a powerful position in their mind. You've become an enigma, and enigmas are unforgettable. It's worth noting, too, that in this period, your silence may provoke a range of emotions in them. Confusion, irritation, even a kind of frustration. And yes, they might convince themselves they're over it, or even that they don't care. But the truth is that silence doesn't fade easily. It lingers. It creates an itch in the back of their mind that over time becomes harder to ignore. The power of no contact is not in trying to hurt anyone or play games. It's in letting the silence do the work that words can't. It's in allowing both of you to sit with the absence, to confront the raw truth without distractions, without a way to sugarcoat it. And right now, you might think that they're moving on, that they're not feeling the effects like you are. But silence works in mysterious ways. Often, its impact is slow but steady, leaving a lasting impression that words rarely can. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to trust the process. Trust that this no-contact period isn't just affecting them. It's reshaping you. It's giving you a chance to reclaim your power, your independence, and most importantly, it's preparing you to see yourself in a new light, not as someone waiting, but as someone worth waiting for. Because in this silence, you're growing. You're shedding old patterns, learning to be whole again, and building resilience that will serve you far beyond this relationship. Now, let's talk about strength, the kind that doesn't come from the outside, but from deep within you. Strength rooted in your character, in your resilience. Stoic philosophy teaches us to endure, to be unmoved by external events that are beyond our control. And right now, that's exactly what you're being called to do. The Stoics believed that the only things we truly have control over are our own thoughts, our own actions, and our own responses. Everything else, it's out of our hands. And in this period of no contact, you'll need to hold on to this truth as if it's your lifeline. Because, let's face it, you don't have control over their thoughts, their actions, or whether they'll reach out. But you do have control over you. You have control over how you show up for yourself in this moment. Let's start with the Stoic principle of amor fati, or love of fate. Amor fati is the idea that everything that happens to us, every joy, every pain, every silence, is part of our path. It's meant to be embraced, not resisted. Imagine viewing this no-contact period, not as a curse or punishment, but as a necessary part of your journey, a part that is forging you, making you stronger. Amor fati asks us to stop fighting reality, to stop wishing things were different, and instead to say, yes, this is what's happening, and I will find a way to make it serve me. Think about that. What if, instead of resisting the silence, instead of obsessing over what you don't have right now, you embraced this as part of your fate? Imagine saying, I don't need their validation, their presence, or their words to be whole. This period is here to teach me something, and I choose to love it, even the pain of it. Next, let's consider the Stoic idea of indifference to externals. The Stoics teach that things outside of our control, like other people's actions, are externals. They're things we cannot change, so they don't deserve the power to disturb our peace. Right now, the thoughts that plague you, the urge to check your phone or scan social media for any sign of them, those are all externals. They're temptations trying to steal your peace. Imagine what it would feel like to truly let go of these externals, to say, yes, they're out there. Yes, they might be doing whatever they're doing, but that is not my concern. My concern is only myself, my growth, my strength. That's where true freedom lies, in detaching from these externals and focusing on what's within your control. Because the more you focus on what they're doing, the less power you give to what you're becoming. There's a strength in Stoicism that few understand, because it doesn't come from forcing others to act a certain way. It comes from knowing, deep down, that nothing they do or say can truly disturb your inner peace unless you allow it. You are choosing now to hold on to your power, to focus inward, to cultivate resilience rather than grasp at something that isn't meant for you to control. Let's talk about resilience for a moment. Stoicism teaches us that resilience isn't about denying our feelings. No, it's about acknowledging them, understanding them, but then letting them pass through us. It's about not letting them control us. Right now, the feelings you have, the sadness, the frustration, maybe even the anger, they're real, and it's okay to feel them. The Stoics would say, don't resist these feelings. Observe them. Feel them fully, but don't let them define you. They are temporary. They will fade if you let them. Picture each emotion as a wave passing through you. Instead of fighting against it, let it move over you. Let it flow, knowing that each wave eventually dissolves. This is resilience. Standing tall in the storm, knowing that no feeling, no matter how powerful, can overwhelm you forever. Another crucial Stoic principle that will serve you well here is the dichotomy of control. In No Contact, this concept is essential. The dichotomy of control tells us that there are things we can control and things we cannot. Your power lies in focusing entirely on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. Think about it. Can you control whether they're thinking about you? No. Can you control whether they'll reach out? Again, no. But you can control how you respond to each day, each hour, each minute of this no-contact period. You can control your thoughts, you can control your focus, and you can control the ways you choose to grow during this time. When you recognize what you cannot control, you start to free yourself from the mental chains that have kept you trapped in a cycle of worry. You stop checking your phone every minute. You stop waiting. And in that letting go, you find a kind of liberation that few people experience. Because in truth, the need to control something you can't is where most suffering begins. Embrace the dichotomy of control. Every time you feel that urge to reach out, to check, to break the silence, remind yourself, this is outside my control, and I do not need it to find peace. The only control you need is over yourself, over your reactions, over your thoughts. Now, you may be wondering, how do you actually practice this on a daily basis? Stoicism isn't just theory, it's a way of life. It's a daily commitment to choose strength over weakness, peace over chaos. Every time you feel that urge, that doubt creeping in, take a deep breath. Remind yourself of these principles. Say to yourself, this is part of my journey. I don't need anything external to be complete. I already have everything I need within me. And remember this, each day you choose silence. Each moment you resist the urge to reach out. You are building a fortress within yourself. This isn't just about getting through a breakup or a period of no contact. This is about becoming the kind of person who can weather any storm, who doesn't break at the first sign of discomfort. The Stoics believed that every hardship, every challenge, is an opportunity to grow stronger. And this no-contact period is your chance. Not to win someone back, not to prove a point, but to transform. To become someone who can stand alone, who doesn't need anyone to complete them. Because, in the end, true power isn't about controlling anyone else's actions. True power is about controlling yourself. It's about being able to look at this silence, this waiting, and saying, I can endure this, and I can come out of it better than before. So far, we've explored the power of silence and how Stoic principles can transform this no-contact period into a journey of resilience. Now, let's go deeper. Let's get into the darker, sharper edges of psychology, the techniques that will give you an edge not only over the situation, but over your own mind. Dark psychology is often misunderstood. It's not about manipulation or controlling others. Instead, it's about understanding the human psyche deeply enough to gain power over your emotions and reactions. It's about mastering your mind, fortifying yourself against weakness and uncertainty, and, in doing so, protecting your inner peace. Let's start with emotional detachment. Emotional detachment doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you learn to separate your emotions from your actions. When we're in the grip of strong emotions, especially the kind that no contact stirs up, our first impulse is often to act, to reach out, to seek relief from the tension. But true strength lies in resisting that impulse. Imagine you are standing on the edge of a cliff. Below you is a storm of emotion, anger, sadness, maybe even obsession. Emotional detachment is stepping back from that edge. It's saying, I see these emotions, I acknowledge them, but I will not let them control my actions. Emotions are temporary, actions have consequences, and by choosing to detach, you reclaim control over your responses, no longer a puppet to your own emotions. Here's a powerful technique. Reframe your perspective. Instead of seeing this no-contact period as something that's happening to you, see it as something you're choosing to experience. You're not just a passive participant in this silence. No, you are the one choosing it. This subtle shift in mindset puts you back in control. You're not waiting for them to respond or to feel something. You're choosing silence as a way to build your own strength. Each time you feel tempted to reach out, remind yourself that silence is not a reaction, it's an action. It's something you're doing, something you're in control of. It's a strategic choice, not a passive state. Reframing your mindset from waiting to choosing is like armor. It gives you strength against the pull of impulse. Now, let's talk about another dark psychology technique, reverse visualization. Traditional visualization teaches you to picture success, to imagine everything going exactly as you want. But reverse visualization is different. It's about preparing yourself mentally for the worst-case scenario, for what would happen if you never heard from them again. Imagine that silence is forever. Imagine that they move on, that they don't come back, that you're left to rebuild on your own. At first, this might feel painful, but let yourself go there, fully. Picture yourself in that reality, and then imagine yourself finding peace in it, thriving despite it. When you visualize the worst, and accept it, it loses its power over you. You are no longer afraid of losing something because, in your mind, you've already moved past it. This doesn't mean you're hoping for the worst. It means you're preparing yourself for any outcome. And when you reach this level of acceptance, you become truly unbreakable, because there's nothing they can do or not do that will shake your peace. Here's a third technique: cold empathy. This isn't about sympathy or understanding them from a place of emotion. Cold empathy is about seeing things objectively, understanding why they might act in certain ways, without letting it affect you emotionally. It's about recognizing their patterns, their behaviors, without attaching meaning to it. For example, if they don't reach out, cold empathy allows you to see it for what it is, without taking it as a personal rejection. It might simply mean they're struggling with their own issues, their own fears, or ego. By using cold empathy, you remove your emotional attachment to their actions. You see them as they are: human, flawed, unpredictable, without letting it impact your sense of self-worth. Cold empathy is a protective shield. It lets you observe without absorbing, keeping you safe from the emotional highs and lows that come from trying to interpret their silence. Remember, what they do or don't do is a reflection of them, not of you. Cold empathy helps you see that, to understand without needing to feel. Another technique I want you to understand is emotional mirroring. Emotional mirroring is the idea of reflecting within yourself the emotions you want them to feel. Think about it. If you're obsessing, waiting, checking your phone every minute, you're sending out an invisible energy of desperation, even if you're in no contact. But what if, instead, you practiced calm? What if you started to embody confidence, self-assuredness, and peace? Emotional mirroring means that you become the emotions you want others to feel about you. You're no longer hoping for their validation. Instead, you're validating yourself, giving off an energy of strength and self-worth. Over time, this energy impacts how you see yourself, and that self-assuredness becomes real, tangible. People are subconsciously drawn to energy that feels centered, grounded, and secure. When you embody that energy, you become magnetic, not because you're trying to be, but because confidence radiates naturally from within you. Now let's get into the power of indifference. This isn't indifference in the sense of being cold or uncaring. Instead, it's the kind of indifference that's rooted in self-respect. It's the ability to say, I care about myself enough to let go of anything that doesn't serve me. Indifference means you're no longer emotionally dependent on their attention, their presence, or their validation. You've detached emotionally, and you're not looking to them to complete you. Imagine what it would feel like to be completely indifferent to their actions, to no longer need them to make you feel whole. This isn't about closing off your heart. It's about opening it up to yourself. It's about respecting yourself enough to know that you are enough, just as you are. Indifference is freedom. It's no longer carrying the weight of expectation, no longer checking for signs or signals. And when you reach this state, you're truly unbreakable, because you're no longer bound by the need for someone else's response or approval. Remember, each of these techniques, emotional detachment, reverse visualization, cold empathy, emotional mirroring, and the power of indifference, are tools. They're not meant to make you heartless. They're meant to make you strong. They're here to help you reclaim your power and stand firm in your own worth. You have within you the ability to transcend this period of no contact, not by waiting or hoping, but by actively choosing to become someone stronger, someone more resilient. These dark psychology techniques, when used wisely, give you the edge not over anyone else, but over yourself. They help you master the impulses, the doubts, and the fears that once held you back. This silence is your proving ground. And with these techniques, you're not just enduring it, you're using it to transform. You're no longer a person waiting to be chosen, hoping for validation. You're becoming a force to be reckoned with, a person who stands strong, regardless of anyone's presence or absence. You've come a long way already. You're strengthening your mind, reinforcing your boundaries, and reclaiming your power. Now, it's time to channel all that inner strength into mindfulness and reflection. These exercises will help you turn your attention inward, to understand yourself on a deeper level, and to connect with your own mind and spirit in ways you may not have before. In a period of no contact, your mind is often flooded with thoughts, some wanted, some not. Mindfulness allows you to observe these thoughts without judgment, to see them, acknowledge them, and let them go without letting them take control. Let's start with mindful observation. Each day, set aside 5 to 10 minutes where you can sit quietly and let your thoughts arise naturally. Don't try to force them away, and don't cling to them. Instead, picture each thought as a cloud passing in the sky. Some clouds are dark, heavy, and full of emotion. Others are light, almost transparent. But all of them, eventually, pass by. As each thought comes up, whether it's about the person, the silence, or any fear, observe it without judgment. You're not your thoughts. You're the observer of your thoughts. This practice teaches you that you don't have to act on every thought that arises. Not every thought deserves your energy. By becoming the observer, you reclaim your power over your mind. Next, let's practice grounding through breath. This is a simple but powerful exercise. When you feel anxiety creeping in, or when that urge to reach out becomes overwhelming, pause. Take a deep breath, filling your lungs fully, and then exhale slowly. Focus on the sensation of your breath, the coolness as it enters your nostrils, the warmth as it leaves. Breathing exercises like this anchor you in the present moment. They remind you that no matter what's going on in your mind, your breath is always there, grounding you, bringing you back to yourself. Each time you feel the pull of impulse, return to your breath. It's a safe space within you, a reminder that you are always in control. Now, let's go deeper with self-reflective journaling. Each evening, take 10 to 15 minutes to journal about your feelings. Write about the day, about any moments of temptation, or any breakthroughs. Be honest with yourself, but don't judge yourself. This is a space for your raw thoughts, your fears, your hopes. Start by asking yourself these questions. What did I learn about myself today? Where did I feel the most challenged? What did I discover about my own strength? By putting your thoughts on paper, you're not only releasing them from your mind, but you're also creating a record of your journey. Over time, you'll see the growth, the progress, and the transformation you're undergoing. There's something powerful about seeing your own resilience documented in writing. Each entry is a testament to your strength, and on days when you feel weak, you can look back and remind yourself of how far you've come, of the battles you've already fought and won. Let's move to a powerful visualization exercise, future self-visualization. This isn't about focusing on the past or even the present. It's about looking forward. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 6 months from now. Picture yourself standing tall, self-assured, radiating confidence. See yourself as someone who has fully embraced their worth, someone who is no longer waiting for anyone to validate them. Visualize every detail, how you feel, how you carry yourself, the peace that emanates from within you. This future self doesn't look back with regret or longing. They look forward with strength and purpose. The more vividly you can picture this future version of yourself, the more you start to embody that energy right now. Every day, in small ways, you're becoming that person. This visualization is a reminder of what you're working towards, of the version of you that this no-contact period is helping to create. Hold on to that vision. Let it guide you through the difficult moments as a beacon of what's possible. Another essential exercise is forgiveness meditation. Now, you may feel resistance here, especially if you're harboring pain or resentment. But forgiveness meditation is not about excusing anyone's behavior. It's about releasing yourself from the weight of carrying anger, or regret. This practice is a gift to yourself, a way to free yourself from the chains of the past.